15 years ago, disaster struck. Towering demon prisons emerged, growing deadlier with every floor. A 9-story tower appeared near a quiet village, drawing curious children toward their doom. The lead bully sneered, "So you're hiding here, you little rats. Touch that tower, and I'll leave her alone." Young Suji stepped forward bravely. He steeled his nerves. "It's just a crumbling ruin. I'm not afraid of anything." "Watch me." His sister, Yuan, could only watch in terror as he approached. The bullies laughed, but as Suji reached the base, the doors groaned open. His pupils shrank in horror. Why did the gate open for a mere child? Monstrous eyes and distorted mouths began twitching across the tower's stone walls. A blood-red eye snapped open, followed by a jagged, hungry grin of razor teeth. Tentacles of distorted, screaming faces erupted from the tower, lunging straight for Suji. The forbidden energy surged into his mind. Suji's eyes turned deathly white. Panic erupted. The children fled for their lives as the ancient seals shattered. Monsters were escaping. His mother lost all reason, desperate to save her son. "Let me go." Suji is still there, but hands held her back firmly. "It's too dangerous." Villagers abandoned their homes, fleeing the encroaching nightmare in chaos. "Run, the monsters are free." His mother wailed, reaching for her lost child. "I must find my son," a man shouted back. "Save your own life first." "Stop being foolish. Run now." The neighbors dragged her away from the carnage. "He's gone." Suddenly, a pack of grotesque monsters blocked their only escape route. A massive titan loomed over them, grinning. "Humans, you are nothing but food." The village was obliterated. Peace was replaced by a landscape of smoldering ruins. His candy bag lay forgotten in the dirt. His mother was likely gone forever. Present day, a cursed forest thick with a suffocating, deathly aura and withered trees. Suppression charms covered the woods, yet a group of hunters ventured deep inside. They stood before a cryptic gate. "Impressive work, Old Dean. Let's head in." Old Dean signaled a halt, checking the area with a veteran's cautious eyes. "Wait, this is a C-rank tower. Our crew has never faced such danger." The others nodded nervously. "Right, no amount of gold is worth our lives." After an hour, Old Dean took the key. "No one else is coming. Move." He inserted the key. Glowing runes vanished, and the heavy door finally groaned. Greed took over. "The door is open. It's time to claim our fortune." Old Dean entered last. He had spent his life savings on the C-rank key. Everything was on the line. They needed a massive haul to survive this. Upon entering, a malevolent chill gripped Old Dean's heart, freezing his very blood. He tapped his staff in the dark. Was everyone teleported? Where are they? Suddenly, a young hunter appeared behind him, looking relieved despite the thick gloom. "Old Dean, thank goodness," he asked. "Where are the others, did you see?" The boy hesitated for a beat. "Maybe. They already moved further in." Old Dean walked ahead, unaware that the figure behind him was shifting shape. A guttural, inhuman snarl echoed. Old Dean froze, sensing something was terribly wrong. He spun around. The young boy had transformed into a mangled, twisted nightmare. Its mouth split wide, revealing a single eye staring at him like delicious prey. "Stay here and feed me." Old Dean collapsed, paralyzed by sheer, soul-crushing terror. "Help me, someone save me." Suddenly, a girl blurred past like a flash. One kick from Yunyuan sent the monster's head flying. Its severed face landed near Old Dean, who froze in terror. Dark mist rose, and the remains transformed into a gleaming dagger. Saved just in time, Old Dean stammered his thanks to Yunyuan. Thank you." Suddenly, a man appeared atop the massive corpse. It was Suji, just a low-level skinwalker, he smirked. Old Dean offered the C-rank dagger back as tribute to him. Suji stepped down casually. "Keep it, it's yours now." They walked away, leaving Old Dean stunned. A C-rank weapon, gifted. His hands shook. In this world, weapons were the ultimate gear. They met the rest of the group deeper, inside the tower. Jealous whispers spread as the two strangers passed the crowd. "Who are they?" "Probably just scavengers leeching off our hard work." A thug named 𝒂𝒏𝒌 blocked 𝒁𝒐𝒎𝒃𝒊𝒆, pointing aggressively. Pay the entry fee, another crony stepped up with a threat. Hand over your gear, or we'll strip it off your bodies. 𝒁𝒐𝒎𝒃 ignored the fools, walking past them with cold disdain. My presence is your blessing, otherwise this tower is your grave. 𝒂𝒏𝒌's face twisted in rage as he laughed. Blessing, who do you think you are? You're asking for death. Old Dean rushed over, screaming for them to stop at once. What's wrong, Old Dean? 𝒂𝒏𝒌 asked, his annoyance growing. Showing the dagger, Old Dean yelled, You idiots have no idea. He ignored C-rank gear like trash. Don't offend a master. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 scoffed. A C-rank weapon, you're clearly just lying. Suddenly, an armored scout ran back. A monster tide was coming. Panic erupted. Monster tide, run for your lives, everyone screamed. Hold the line, Old Dean shouted, but the hunters fled blindly. The beasts surged forward, their fangs bared for a human feast. 𝒁𝒐𝒎𝒃 exhaled smoke, a mocking smile playing on his lips. Flicking his cigarette away, he prepared to erase the weak mob. Like a dark conductor, he manipulated paper charms with chilling grace. Rise, my soldiers, 𝒁𝒐𝒎𝒃 marked the paper with his blood. Charms became armored skeletons. The necromancer's ghost army had arrived. The crowned alpha monster led the charge, roaring at the dead. It raised its club, commanding the horde to crush the skeletons. But 𝒁𝒐𝒎𝒃's power surged like a tidal wave of darkness. An explosion rocked the tower. Dust swallowed the monsters whole. Old Dean shielded his eyes, trembling at the destruction before him. When the dust settled, not a single monster remained alive. Loot littered the ground. This power, it's insane, the crowd gasped. Old Dean whispered in awe. The legendary paper-to-spirit art. He's a high-level summoner. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 spotted a glowing monster core. 𝒁𝒐𝒎𝒃 claimed the core and turned away, his work done. I'll take the core, keep the rest, red light blazed. He reached toward 𝒁𝒁𝒁, commanding her to open wide. Spitting out her iron ring, she submissively swallowed the crystal. The scavengers gasped. Could this girl actually be an undead ghoul? While gathering loot, 𝒂𝒏𝒌 clutched a heavy chest and shouted. Are ghouls just awakened humans who died inside the tower? Curly marveled at her form, noting her near-perfect human appearance. Old Dean remained silent, though his face betrayed absolute shock. High-tier ghouls were rare. Just how many crystals had she eaten? Dean watched 𝒁𝒑𝒏𝒈. Now his obsession with crystals made sense. She was an expensive pet. Suddenly, massive boulders crashed down. The earth trembled. What is happening now? 𝒂𝒏𝒌 cried out. More monsters, Curly stammered. Didn't we just clear this floor? Stay calm, Dean yelled. The tower seal is finally breaking. Lighting another cigarette, 𝒁𝒑𝒈 scoffed at their naive assumptions. Amateurs shouldn't enter C-rank towers. The true boss had awakened. Failure meant total destabilization. Terror gripped the entire group. They fell to their knees, begging the powerhouse for salvation. 𝒁𝒑𝒈 sighed, closing his eyes. Call it a moment of kindness. The price is soul crystals. He then led 𝒁𝒁𝒁 inside. Thick webs choked the cavern, filled with mummified human remains. The boss, a hideous spider queen, descended with a wicked grin. Did you wake me? I shall weave you into cocoons. 𝒁𝒑𝒈 watched her theatrics. She was weak and too chatty. She unleashed a sphere of malice. 𝒁𝒑𝒈 summoned a paper charm. The paper doll erupted in light, searing the shrieking spider queen. Executing a final hand seal, he detonated the holy charm. With a final scream, she dissolved into wretched black smoke. 𝒁𝒑𝒈 stood stoically, waiting to claim his high-grade crystal prize. As the corruption faded, 𝒂𝒏𝒌 pointed toward the shifting ceiling. The tower is changing. The expert must have crushed the boss. He is amazing. Someone cheered, yet a chilling aura remained. Wait, 𝒂𝒏𝒌 whispered. Why does it still feel so cold? The girl frowned. The tower exit hasn't appeared yet. Why? Stepping out, 𝒁𝒑𝒈 warned them. Blind bravery leads to graves. He traced the ancient bricks, halting at a hidden mechanism. Pressing down, he revealed another tower hidden within this one. The group froze in disbelief. A tower inside a tower. "Who are you?" Dean gasped as the walls split wide open. "I am the one who unleashed this nightmare," 𝒂𝒏𝒌 smirked. He paused at the threshold of the deep, dark abyss. He warned them back, but greed had already replaced fear. "Dean, this is our chance," 𝒂𝒏𝒌 urged. "Think of the treasure." "Better to die rich," but the heavy-set man hesitated. "Hidden towers are death traps. We will not survive this." Dean fell silent, pondering the mysterious man who changed everything. Behold, the fabled Tower of Legend. One night here could bring unimaginable wealth. Based on the monsters we've faced, rare materials must be hidden within, if luck is on our side. This raid will yield a tenfold profit. Besides, we have a powerhouse leader on our side. Driven by greed, the leader signaled the advance. "Move out!" They began scaling the steep cliffs. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 barked at the trembling Dione. "Hurry up, don't stall my payday," he sobbed. "I'm terrified of heights." 𝒂𝒏𝒌 lost his patience and snarled. "Move it, or do I need to drag you up myself?" The coward wailed even louder. Meanwhile, 𝒁𝒐𝒏𝒃 and 𝒁𝒏𝒈 reached the summit. 𝒁𝒐𝒏𝒃 scanned the desolate horizon and lit a cigarette. "Men die for gold, birds die for grain." He mused silently. The demon-suppressing tower hasn't changed in eons, still a den of death. Humans are such stubborn creatures. "Fine," 𝒁𝒐𝒏𝒃 thought. "If you won't listen, pray your luck holds out." In a forest clearing, old Dean's group gathered, their voices hushed in nervous whispers. Whoa, the interior of this hidden tower is absolutely massive. But in such a vast space, where are the monsters? Something feels off. There are mirrors everywhere. Could the treasure be hidden behind them? 𝒁𝒏𝒃 stepped forward, voice cold. "Don't be fools. This tower gives nothing for free. High profit always means high risk. That's the law." The atmosphere grew heavy and dark. 𝒁𝒏𝒃 quickened his pace, warning the group once more. "The fog is rising. Stick together or die, I won't be saving you." They obeyed in fearful silence. "Understood, boss." But soon, the gluttonous Dione collapsed onto the dirt, wheezing. I can't go on. We've walked forever without seeing a single enemy. I need a break. 𝒂𝒏𝒃 buddy, pass me your water. Just one sip." But as his hand touched 𝒂𝒏𝒃, the man dissolved into mist. Owen let out a horrific scream. "Uncle Dean, 𝒂𝒏𝒃. He's gone. He just vanished into thin air." Panic gripped old Dean. He opened his mouth to restore order, but his voice failed him. "Stay calm, it's just an illusion." He stopped. One by one, everyone was evaporating into the void. 𝒁𝒏𝒃 spun around. 𝒁𝒏𝒈, she was fading too. Damn it, when did the trap trigger? Silence fell. Only 𝒁𝒏𝒃, old Dean, and the trembling Dione remained. Eerie, bone-chilling laughter echoed through the mist. A sinister voice whispered from the shadows. "Mortals, your eyes are sharp. You actually found my sanctum hidden within this tower." The mirror specter emerged from the frost, her smile twisting into a predatory grin. "Is it good fortune? Or a death sentence?" 𝒁𝒏𝒃's eyes flared with killing intent. "Where did you take them?" The specter's eyes were like hollow abysses. She laughed. "I devoured them, of course." Humans are so much tastier than monsters. They're expressions of pure terror, simply delicious. Dean's face turned ghostly white, his breath hitching in his throat. "They're all dead. Every single one." The mirror specter summoned her cursed yin-yang mirror. Massive mirrors rose around them. Before old Dean, a girl appeared, moving like a broken puppet. "My daughter," he gasped. She was scarred, weeping tears of pure crimson blood. "Father, don't you remember me? If only you hadn't." Dean collapsed, his spirit shattered. He wailed in agony. "It was my fault. I'm sorry. I had no choice back then." Before 𝒁𝒃𝒃, a familiar figure appeared in the glass. "𝒁𝒃𝒃, my dear son." His late mother and neighbors stood there, calling his name with voices from a lost childhood. "𝒁𝒃𝒃, I cooked your favorite meal. Look how much you've grown, little one. Wanna herd the goats with me? Come, I'll buy you a treat at the stall." 𝒁𝒃𝒃 froze in shock. "Mother, everyone." His mother stepped out from the reflection, reaching for him. "I'm so sorry, 𝒁𝒃𝒃. I failed to protect you then, but I've finally found you again. Now we'll be together, forever." Beside him, the others were lost in their own living nightmares. "Poor girl, your end is near," the mirror demons sneered as their inner shadows manifested. "As long as you breathe, your dark desires will rot you from within." Obsession is the root of all evil. Instead of clinging to life, surrender your flesh and soul to nourish me. 𝒁𝒏𝒌 gritted his teeth, his eyes blazing. "You think you've won. Did you forget my undead thrall?" The demon froze in confusion. "An undead?" Before she could react, 𝒁𝒏𝒌 lunged, shattering the yin-yang mirror with a single, devastating strike. 𝒁𝒏𝒌 regained his cool, a predatory smirk playing on his lips. "Illusions only trap the living. The undead have no soul to manipulate. Now that your precious mirror is dust, your pathetic mind games are over." With his allies unconscious, he glared at the mirror demon. "Stop hiding and show me what else you've got." She retreated into the glass shards. "Clever human, you destroyed my artifact, but you forget. This entire tower is my domain." 𝒁𝒏𝒌 relentlessly smashed every fragment in her path. But the demon's mocking laughter echoed from the walls. "Useless. As long as one sliver remains, I am eternal. You'll rot here forever, until your corpses become my fertilizer." Her reflection flickered through the jagged debris. "Tell me, human, what did the glass show you? Was it you who killed them, or did they die because of your cowardice? You don't even know how they perished. Imagine their hatred when they realize you're the reason they're dead." 𝒁𝒏𝒌 attacked in a blind fury, but she was only striking ghosts. 𝒁𝒏𝒌 calmly lit a cigarette, his gaze turning cold with pure murderous intent. "You wretch! I was going to play fair, but that foul mouth of yours just sealed your fate. If you love mirrors so much, I'll bury you in them." The mirror demon cackled, completely unaware of the legendary power about to awaken. "Against me, in my own tower, what can a weakling and his pet do? Go ahead, keep scratching at the walls." 𝒁𝒏𝒌 summoned his high-tier paper charms. "I'm going to erase every single shard of your existence." He channeled his spiritual energy, chanting the forbidden spell, "Wind Caller, Dragon Rise." A massive human-dragon hybrid manifested, unleashing a violent cyclone that sucked every fragment into a raging vortex. The gravitational pull was absolute. Not even the smallest speck of glass could escape the storm. 𝒁𝒏𝒌, now, released the thunder axe. The corpse ghost shifted into her battle soul form, merging her lightning with the center of the hurricane. Terror finally gripped the demon. "Wretched human, what is this madness?" 𝒁𝒏𝒌 ignored her cries, weaving his final seal. "I'm ending this. Lightning strike!" 𝒁𝒏𝒌 dived into the vortex, her electric aura melting the glass into molten slag. The mirrors transformed into a pile of useless crystals. The mirror demon was finally exposed. 𝒁𝒏𝒌 seized her by the throat. 𝒁𝒏𝒌 looked down at her with an icy grin. "Keep running. Wasn't that your specialty?" His killing intent was now overwhelming. "It took a high-rank charm to drag you out. I hope your core is worth the trouble." The demon's face contorted. But she suddenly sneered, "Using wind to trap me. And lightning to melt my mirrors. I underestimated you, but I am the master here." Her body began to dissolve into mist. "This tower is my soul." She slipped through 𝒁𝒏𝒌's fingers and lunged straight for 𝒁𝒁𝒏𝒌's head. "A body like yours is a perfect vessel. Once I possess you, I'll earn the recognition of that great lord." She turned into a formless shadow, diving into 𝒁𝒁𝒏𝒌's eyes before anyone could intervene. "Finally, our souls shall become one." 𝒁𝒁𝒏𝒌 screamed in agony as ghastly green light erupted from his pupils. Inside his soul space, the demon found a massive, ancient seal. "What is this power?" A giant, primordial eye opened within the void, staring directly into her soul. Malevolent energy surged as the black flower, the hidden undead bloodline, bloomed from his brain. A demon snack, how rare. Sensing her impending doom, the mirror ghost launched a desperate barrage of razor-sharp shards. The black flower didn't even flinch. The shards disintegrated instantly. "Such pathetic toys cannot scratch my domain." Shadow tentacles lashed out, binding the demon in a crushing grip. The SSS-dear entity leaned into feast. "The scent of your fear is delicious." The mirror demon finally knew true terror as she begged for mercy. Spare me, have mercy. The black flower lunged like a starving beast, instantly ripping the woman apart. Tasting the sweet iron of blood, her wicked expression turned ecstatic. Simply divine. As she finished her meal, a cold voice echoed. Who are you? Suji stood behind her. He glared at her. Feeding inside my mind, did you crawl out from my tower? Her eyes glowed fiercely. She smiled. Greetings, Suji, I am the Black Flower. Her next words left him completely stunned. You've activated the Heavenly Tower, but you have only 3 days left to live. Suji looked at her perched within his psyche. 3 days? Who decided that? Is my failure to level up because of your tricks inside the tower? I haven't even married. If you want to die, go by yourself. She laughed. I'm sealed here. I need your power to survive, kid. Without constant killing, the tower would have drained your soul long ago. You've awakened me, but my hunger is endless. At your current level, I'll suck you dry in 3 days. Suji crossed his arms. Enough talk. Promote me to SD rank right now. She looked at her hands dismissively. With your frail body, you'd never survive the power. If you die, I lose my source. Suji pointed at her, fuming. Damn it, I thought I hit the jackpot, but you're just a useless parasite. Want my power? Then earn it or we both perish. She laughed again. Not wanting to die with him, she relented. So short-tempered. Forcing my power into you now would cause a fatal backlash. Reach rank first. Also, don't you want to restore your ghost girl? Suji gasped. Restore her? You mean Yuan? I thought ghostification was permanent. Is there really a way to fix her? She leaned in, face to face. In this world, nothing is absolute. Once you're strong enough, I will reveal the way, she whispered. Great wishes demand a great price. Suji steeled his resolve. I'll do it. She chuckled and granted him a mysterious, glowing paper talisman. A gift for waking me. Use it to level up. He looked at it, confused. This charm holds my power. Use it only when death is certain. Finally, she whispered a warning. Don't die yet, young man. Outside, Tian and Wan were frantically shaking him. Boss, wake up, please. He finally blinked. Did I pass out? You were like a statue. We thought you were possessed. Wan sighed in relief. Tian handed him a green essence crystal. Boss, the monster dropped this. He took it calmly. I see. Tian hesitated. Boss, our squad is down to just the 2 of us. We can't pay the taxes alone. Can we join you? Suji lit a cigarette. No. Tian scratched his head. I understand. A master like you doesn't need us. Suji blew out a puff of smoke. Listen carefully. If you need money, follow me into the tower, but I won't save your lives. Tian was overjoyed. Really, you mean it? He grabbed Suji's leg, crying. Thank you, I'll serve you forever. Suji kicked him away. Get off, don't wipe your snot on me. And the name is Suji. Stop calling me Big Boss. He barked a cold lesson at the 2. You wanted money, didn't you? Follow me to the bureau or rot here. They trembled. Yes, boss. Only 4 remained. As they ventured deeper, Dai-On turned to old Dean with burning curiosity. Uncle, why do corpse ghouls eat spirit cores? Dean sighed. Listen well, rookie. He began to recount the dark events from 15 years ago. It all started when the demon suppression towers descended upon the world. The youth rushed in, blinded by greed. Live stream from the tower, guys, like and share. I'm going to be rich. They never expected the horrors awaiting them inside. Vast wealth and resources were plundered from those cursed floors. Many awakened spiritual powers becoming hunters. Rank C, this beats any gun. But greed is a poison. Most found only death within those walls. They were mere cannon fodder, dying only to return as mindless undead puppets. As the years bled into one another, they evolved into true monsters, humans hunting humans, but for the talented. Their souls were devoured, turning them into immortal, bloodthirsty corpse ghouls. Eternal puppets of slaughter, Dai-On pointed at the girl. Is she one of them? Seeing the boy's terror, old Dean quickly tried to calm his nerves. Don't worry, they're violent, but once bound, spirit cores keep them tame. He watched Suji feed Yuan, sensing a mystery beyond his reach. Raising a human-like ghoul on low-tier cores was an impossible feat. A single tower barely yields 3 cores. The scarcity is absolute. Black market prices are astronomical. That girl must have been his entire world. Recharged by the cores, Yuan's aura pulsed with a strange happiness. Suji pulled out a paper talisman, his eyes filled with hidden intent. "The disguise is wearing off," he whispered softly. "Let's get you a new look." They reached the bureau headquarters. The others gasped. "This place is legendary." Suji stepped forward. "This is the heart of every guild and mission. They rank every hunter and soul here. It's the peak of this world." Old Dean exhaled in awe. "I never dreamed I'd stand in this hall." Dion's eyes sparkled. "Look, it's the famous celebrity hunter squads." Dean recognized the elite sigils. "That's the Crow Hunter Squad over there. Rumor says their captain cleared an A-rank tower all by himself." Dion stared at the girls, starstruck. "It's Midnight Rose, my idols." Beautiful and deadly. He rushed over, desperate for a single autograph. While the boy played fanboy, Suji headed straight for the mission counter. Yuan, stay here. I'll be back in a moment." She stood motionless, a silent shadow. Suji spoke. "The 𝒁𝒏𝒈 Academy mission." The clerk looked up professionally. "Your name and combat rank, please." "Suji, rank C," she froze. "Rank B, that's a suicide mission, are you sure?" He gripped his weapon, eyes cold as ice. "Stop talking and register it. Fate decides who lives or dies. Just give me the mission." Seeing his resolve, she finally entered the data into the system. "𝒁𝒏𝒈 Girls Academy confirmed. Here is your entry key." "The tower is unstable. Good luck," she sighed as he walked away. So handsome, yet seeking an early grave. Suddenly, a mocking voice echoed behind him. Well, if it isn't the legendary prodigy, Suji from the Jin Dong squad." A blonde man sneered, clutching a girl. "Finally broke through to C rank after all these years. Want to join my White Tiger squad? We're always happy to pity a low-level tamer like you." He laughed maliciously. "Where is Zhao Yuan? Oh, I forgot, she's already 6 feet under." Fury flashed in Suji's eyes as he stepped forward. "Care to repeat that?" He gripped a lethal talisman, ready to strike. Suddenly, guards raised their rifles, surrounding the group. "Halt! Fighting is forbidden in the bureau. Drop your weapons now or face immediate arrest." Dawan watched nervously as the blonde bully broke into a cold sweat, trying to act tough. "You heard them, Suji. Put that talisman away. Let's settle this like adults." Suji brushed past him with a cold shoulder. "Trash!" the bully exploded. "What did you say?" Gritting his teeth, he squeezed his fists until they turned white. "Suji, you'll pay for this." He slammed his hand on the mission counter. "Register the White Tiger Squad for UA Giant Academy." The clerk jumped in fear. He watched Suji leave with a dark, cunning smile on his face. "You're dead meat, Suji." Suddenly, Yuan appeared out of nowhere and kicked his face in. Suji looked at the pathetic man on the floor and let out a mocking laugh. "Not satisfied? Then meet me at the academy if you have the guts." His killing intent surged. The bully whimpered, paralyzed by fear. After they left, he realized, wait, wasn't she dead? Did Suji somehow save her? No, impossible. I saw her take her last breath. He analyzed Yuan's appearance again, and the horrifying truth finally clicked in his mind. The soul shackles, the ghost fan, she isn't alive. She's been turned into a corpse ghost. His eyes gleamed with greed. A beauty like her would sell for millions. I must tell boss. He turned his frustration on the guards, screaming like a madman at the top of his lungs. Didn't you see her attack me? Why aren't you doing anything? But the guards remained indifferent. We only stop fights between hunters. If you have a problem, file a formal complaint. Their cold response sent him into a frenzy. Are you kidding? Where is the logic in that? On the second floor, 2 women watched the chaos. Lin leaned curiously over the railing. Sister Zai Yun, is that the guy you mentioned? He looks exactly like a common thug. Standing beside her was Chin Zai Yun. the elite captain of the Jin Dong hunting squad. She crossed her arms with a mysterious smile. Your assessment is perfect. He is a thug. As she approached the counter, the clerk scrambled to stand and bowed in deep respect. Zai Yun got straight to the point. What did Suji want? The clerk answered instantly. He just accepted the emergency mission for the UA Giant Girls Academy. Zai Yun was stunned. He reached C rank already, but that's a B rank mission. Why did you let him go? Bureau rules state that if a hunter insists on a mission, we cannot legally stop them. The White Tiger Squad is also going. With 4 teams there, he should be perfectly safe. Zai Yun felt a knot in her stomach. She couldn't let Suji face that danger alone. Lin Lin waved a cheerful goodbye as Zai Yun hurried out. I have to see this myself. Suji's team arrived at the academy gates, greeted by a scene of total supernatural chaos. A massive barrier sealed the campus, but the demonic energy was already spiraling out of control. Great Master Su, can we wait for the other teams? Old Tian asked nervously. Dewan laughed awkwardly. Yeah, we're happy just picking up whatever scraps you don't need. Suji didn't care. Suit yourselves. He and Yuan stepped into the shimmering magical barrier. Inside, the entire school had been transformed into a twisted playground for high-level demons. The tower's energy is leaking. We need to move fast. Bodies littered the campus grounds. He lit a cigarette, his eyes blazing with confidence. Time to hunt some B-rank cores, Yuan. Out of nowhere, a girl in a school uniform stumbles into view. 𝒁𝒐𝒏𝒌 freezes, his eyes widening in surprise. Damn, a Japanese-style schoolgirl. A rank B tower really is on a whole different level. Her skin is a deathly shade of purple, completely devoid of life. Is she a student consumed by the tower? Her eyes are nothing but hollow pits of abyssal darkness. Like a wild beast, she lunges at him with a silent scream. He remains calm, casually admiring her figure. She swipes with jagged claws, but he dances away effortlessly. No matter how she pursues, she cannot touch him. Too fast for a common ghoul. This tower is getting interesting. 𝒁𝒐𝒏𝒌 finally draws his secret talismans. A cold smirk plays on his lips. Time to see what kind of monster you really are. Paper charms swirl into the air, encircling her before erupting into a devastating storm of lethal ice shards. She vanishes, reappearing instantly behind him. Void shift, a yaksha capable of phasing through reality to dodge attacks. To think he would encounter such a rarity so soon. Usually, these creatures only mimic the truly powerful. Why a student? Annoyed, he seizes her. She leaps, launching a devastating downward kick. 𝒁𝒐𝒏𝒌 senses a mysterious surge but dodges with ease. Just as suspected, his transformation ability has a clear cooldown period. Perched on the rooftop, the rebellious Hong Deep watches. Hey hottie, become my slave, she smirks. She uncorks a glass vial, releasing a deadly spirit mosquito. Go, follow my command. Sting him hard. Amidst a thick cloud of dust, a hideous night yaksha demon appears. 𝒁𝒐𝒏𝒌 smiles, unfazed. So, you finally decided to show your true, ugly face. How petty. One strike and it goes berserk. 𝒁𝒐𝒏𝒌 effortlessly vaults over the lunging beast. Honestly though, I think this monstrous form suits you much better. With a look of total disdain, he mocks the demon. Hope you drop a core for 𝒁𝒏𝒈. 𝒁𝒐𝒏𝒌 unleashes yellow talismans, binding the yaksha as it let out a soul-piercing scream. As his feet touch the ground, a massive, terrifying explosion consumes the entire area. Clutching the spirit crystal, 𝒁𝒐𝒏𝒌 grins. What luck! A high-grade core just as I hoped. While he celebrates, a tiny creature lands on his neck. Suddenly, Hong Deep stands before him. She lets out a playful laugh. What a catch! Looks like you've fallen right into my hands. 𝒁𝒐𝒏𝒌 ignores the threat to feed 𝒁𝒏𝒈. Intrigued, Hong Deep approaches to strike a deal. A buy-one-get-one deal. Perfect. With your strength, we'll conquer the tower in no time. Her sudden appearance catches the duo by surprise. Who is this mysterious girl? She leans in close, inspecting 𝒁𝒐𝒏𝒌's face. Not bad at all. You're quite the handsome one. She snatches the core, turning toward the pet. Let me help. Now follow me, both of you. Taking her first bite, 𝒁𝒂𝒏𝒌's eyes sparkle with joy. It's delicious, so yummy, she cheers. Seeing her happy reaction, 𝒂𝒏𝒌 finally lets out a long, relieved sigh. 𝒁𝒂💏 can speak now. 𝒂𝒏𝒌 decides to follow this skilled girl and see where it leads. With the business concluded, 𝒂𝒏𝒏𝒃 beckoned them toward the looming shadows. Let us move. Stick with me, kid, and you will strike gold. Meanwhile, at the cursed 𝒁𝒐𝒏𝒄𝒻 Girls' Academy. Before them stood a grotesque nightmare that defied all human logic. Boss, this tower is far too eerie. Are we truly entering? The leader remained cold and composed. The gloom is perfect. Killing Suji here means no witnesses will ever find the body. He was 𝒂𝒏𝒈, captain of the White Fox Hunters, yet his henchmen still hesitated. Boss, Zhao Yunyuan's kick nearly broke me. If she is that lethal, then Suji is. 𝒂𝒏𝒈's eyes flashed with murderous rage. Silence, that is only because you are pathetic and useless. Corpse ghouls evolve by devouring spirit cores. They grow stronger with every drop of blood. Unlike you, they do not waste their lives chasing women. The henchman quickly lowered his head. Understood, boss. Every thought of Suji's actions only fueled the fire of 𝒂𝒏𝒈's fury. With corpse ghost prices skyrocketing, capturing Yuan means a massive payday. As for Suji, he's been a bottom-tier C rank for years. He's clearly just here to gamble on a promotion. The traitor slinks into the shadows, his heart festering with a dark, vengeful grudge. If he hadn't exposed my forbidden arts, I'd still be an elite. Today, I'll have my revenge. Inside the cursed tower, the haunting atmosphere leaves even the seasoned 𝒂𝒏𝒏𝒃 breathless with shock. So many demons lurking about. Are you all here to die for a fleeting wish? She points a slender finger in disdain, mocking the bottomless greed of the desperate masses. Her expression turns lethal as she commands her swarms. Feast, use the venomous devourer art. Horrific insect swarms descend upon the monsters, tearing into their flesh with relentless, starving hunger. The creatures shriek in agony as they are drained dry, leaving behind only bleached, hollow bones. 𝒂𝒏𝒏𝒃 sneers with pure arrogance. Becoming food for my pets is the only honor you deserve. Watching the carnage from the sidelines, Suji offers a silent, cold nod of genuine approval. Not bad, she's saving me plenty of talismans. This carry mission is actually turning out great. Venturing deeper, they discover a wall of pulsating, sticky cocoons that look like a living nightmare. Even 𝒂𝒏𝒏𝒃 is baffled by the sight. Cocoons! Since when did these demons spin webs? She quickly snaps out of it and issues an order. Hey, handsome, go pull one down. Suji calmly lights a cigarette, his gaze steady. I'm not your errand boy, she freezes. You can actually speak. He exhales a cloud of white smoke and scoffs. I'm not a mute, and did you really think your petty poisons could ever control me? While she stands there in shock, he leans in and whispers, Yuan, do the usual. The girl nods with perfect, silent obedience. Understood, Brother Su, I am going now. As Yuan begins the plan, Suji flashes a chilling smirk at the trembling summoner. The last fool who tried to brainwash me is rotting underground. Your tricks are just child's play. Terror grips 𝒂𝒏𝒏𝒃. She drops to her knees, clinging to him. Master, forgive my insolence. Please, I beg you, help me save the students trapped inside. Her desperation catches him off guard. His face flushes with a hint of embarrassment. Listen, I'm not interested in playing the hero. Seeing his hesitation, 𝒂𝒏𝒏𝒃 uses every charm she has, pressing closer with a desperate plea. I'll do anything you want. He tries to stay cool, but a sudden nosebleed betrays him. Fine, get off me. He stares at the cocoons, his expression turning deadly serious. But be warned, if those students are inside those things, they are already beyond saving. The words strike her like a physical blow. No, that's impossible. They have to be alive. The tower swallowed the school. They must be hiding. They can't be dead yet. Their argument is cut short as the cocoons begin to writhe and pulse with terrifying energy. Suddenly, a shell bursts open. Before their eyes, a monstrous chimera emerges from the gore. Suji stares at the half-human abomination, his eyes narrowed with a dark, cold curiosity. Is this the student you were so desperate to find? She shakes her head in horror. Suji draws a powerful talisman, his aura exploding. A colossal beast of living fire erupts. By the 8 hells, I summon the flame ape. An infernal heat instantly incinerates the air. The Kinara shrieks, unhinging its jaw to swallow the flames in a desperate, violent counterattack. A shockwave of raw, overwhelming power ripples out, leaving even Suji momentarily stunned in place. Then, the nightmare truly begins. Every single cocoon in the room starts hatching at once. It's not even fully evolved, yet it survived the flame ape. This is going to be trouble. Hongdeep readies her insects, her eyes burning with resolve. Handsome, let me back you up. From the shadows above, a mysterious voice whispers, Boss, do we need to intervene yet? Frank, the elite hunter of the Black Flame, just smirks. Not yet. Let the show continue. Patience. When 2 tigers fight, the hunter wins. We wait for the perfect moment. The subordinate gasped in shock. Sir, we're just going to stand by. Frank lit a cigarette, his gaze cold. In this world, know your place before acting. That Kinara is a beast. They're just fodder. The lackey stood there, utterly confused. But can we win? Without our captain, the risk is too high. Frank blew a cloud of smoke. Victory isn't the goal. We only need its secrets. The captain mentioned this cursed tower holds the key to that monster's origin. That girl is strong. Once she falls, we'll take her for our own pleasure. Meanwhile, 𝒁𝒐𝒏𝒌 and Hongdeep watched the unfolding nightmare with bated breath. Sensing a shift in the air, 𝒁𝒐𝒏𝒌 roared, Move, it's a trap. Too late. Spirit silk lashed out, binding Hongdeep before 𝒁𝒐𝒏𝒌 was also engulfed. Just like that, the trap snapped shut. Entombed together, Hongdeep's muffled voice barked, Hey, quit shoving me in here. Give me a break, he snapped back. There's 0 room in this spirit cocoon. Panic flared in her eyes. What is this liquid? My clothes are literally dissolving. Watch your hands, don't touch my hidden dragon, 𝒁𝒐𝒏𝒌 yelled amidst the struggle. Tension spiked as Hongdeep felt something hard press against her in the dark. What weapon is that? It's poking me. Hands off, that's my ultimate secret weapon. Her eyes suddenly sparkled with hope. A secret weapon, then use it already. 𝒁𝒐𝒏𝒌 sighed heavily, unable to explain the awkward nature of his power. Forget the dragon. Use your spirit bugs to grab the talisman from my pocket. Her insects scurried, retrieving the yellow paper. 𝒁𝒐𝒏𝒌 glanced at it and winced. This is a lightning blast charm. It's gonna hurt, just brace yourself. From the shadows, Frank watched the cocoon pulse, a cruel smirk crossing his face. So much for the legendary hunters. They're nothing but snacks for the beast. Let's move. That monster is beyond us, such a waste of a pretty face. Suddenly, a deafening crack of thunder shook the tower, freezing the villains in place. The cocoon exploded. 𝒁𝒐𝒏𝒌 stepped out from the smoke, eyes flashing with lightning. God, that stung. Finally, fresh air. Hey, don't just leave me in here. He ignored her cries, staring at his shredded rags with a look of pure annoyance. You're fine. A little silk won't kill you. Just wait your turn. 𝒂𝒏𝒊𝒆 drifted forward, her presence chilling. Why all the noise? I was dreaming. A Kinara is being born. I can practically taste its delicious marrow already. 𝒁𝒐𝒏𝒌 stiffened, his pulse quickening at her sudden hunger for high-tier souls. You can sense it from inside my soul. 𝒂𝒏𝒊𝒆 giggled, leaning in close. I'll use your body as a vessel. Don't worry, I'll leave some for you. He rolled his eyes. How generous, but we have a serious problem right now. That Kinara is a nightmare. With my current stats, I'm basically a sitting duck. Can you infuse your primordial darkness into my talismans to give them some kick? 𝒂𝒏𝒊𝒆 laughed. Ambitious, but your mortal frame can only handle that power once. One shot. After that, you'll be more exhausted than a walking corpse. Why struggle? Just use the god-tier seal I gave you before. 𝒁𝒐𝒏𝒌's expression turned grim. That seal isn't normal. It's a literal death sentence. The backlash would incinerate me. I need something I can actually survive using. But with your energy and my charm, I might just win this fight. If you're ready, just give me the word. After concluding his talk with 𝒂𝒏𝒊𝒆, Su-ji glares at the shadows. Hey, you sewer rats, how much longer do you plan to skulk there? Realizing their cover is blown, Frank emerges with a strained smirk, forced to reveal himself through self-inflicted pain. I admire your guts, kid, Frank sneers, but are you truly ready to face our wrath right now? Ignoring the hollow flattery, Su-ji calmly lights a cigarette, his eyes cold with lethal intent. His face is a mask of pure killing intent as he declares, I won't even need to soil my hands on you. Frank and his goons burst into mockery. You sure have a big mouth for someone about to die. We have a saying back home, worry about your own neck before reaching for someone else's. While he's busy laughing, a panicked cry shatters the mood. Boss, this is bad, really bad. Irritated, Frank turns around to see what the fuss is about, and the smile vanishes from his face instantly. He freezes in pure horror. A colossal behemoth is snatching up his men like common snacks. Recognizing the nightmare, he screams in desperation. It's a giant man-eater. Form a defensive line now. Su-ji watches the carnage and smiles at Yuan. Perfectly executed, girl. Well done. As the cute pet chirps in delight, Frank's world turns into a living, breathing nightmare. You sly bastard, Frank howls in rage. You're using that monster to keep us pinned down. The hunter has truly become the hunted, as his subordinates can only scream in pure terror. The sight of the Titan continuing its relentless assault leaves Frank completely baffled. This makes no sense, he rages. It should be tearing that corpse girl apart first, not us. Su-ji just chuckles, looking at Yuan with a mischievous, knowing glint in his eyes. I've known you were there for ages. I used an invisible talisman and luring powder to redirect its hunger toward you. He adds with a smirk, can't have you flies buzzing around while I evolve. This little trap took quite some effort. The giant's fists rain down like meteors, crushing Frank's team into a state of absolute, screaming despair. Curse you, just wait until our captain arrives. You're a dead man. Su-ji turns his back on the chaos. I've got no more time to waste on small fry like you. He has a bigger prize to claim, the Kinara monster, now in its most lethal, awakened form. Sensing the shift in the air, he warns, Yuan, get back. This is about to get messy. The girl obediently retreats as Su-ji grips a forbidden talisman, his heart racing with anticipation. With 𝒂𝒏𝒊𝒆's assistance, he's ready to unleash a new level of terror. 𝒂𝒏𝒊𝒆 now. The dark spirit purrs, pointing at the seal. Allow me to lend a hand. Ghostly chains suddenly erupt from the paper. Their combined mana shatters the atmosphere. Heavenly core, earthly blight, manifest, livim. But he's not finished yet. One devastating spell after another weaves into a symphony of pure destruction. The fire god's curse. A massive titan of flame rises, bearing its incinerating claws at the sky. In a heartbeat, the boss is reduced to cinders. Su-ji scoffs. Over already? How utterly disappointing. Frank's surviving goons watch in sheer horror, unable to process the godlike destruction they just witnessed. He took down a Kinara. In only 2 moves, that's impossible. The terror deepens as another minion trembles. His aura is barely C-rank. How can he possess such power? These tamers are absolute monsters. That was an rank 8 beast he just slaughtered. Realizing they are completely outmatched, Frank bellows, send the emergency signal. Call the captain now. As the monster hammers against their failing barrier, the group dissolves into panicked bickering and fear. Still no contact. While they panic, 𝒂𝒏𝒊𝒆 watches with a predatory, elegant smile. It smells so delicious. Let me absorb it. Su-ji sighs. Do I even have a choice? She gestures toward Yuan, who is desperately trying to free their ally from the restrictive cocoon. I'm starving, darling, deal with it. Resigned to his fate, Su-ji finally nods his head. Fine. He strides toward the fallen Kinara, his hand clamping down on its throat like a vice. The harvest begins. Ancient, forbidden energy surges into his body like a tidal wave of pure, dark power. Is this my leftover? 𝒁𝒂𝒏𝒊𝒆 purred, while the boy absorbed the dark energy. I'm generous, aren't I? Saved from the cocoon, Red Leaf gazed at Roundy with pure gratitude. Thank you. Her voice trembled as she spotted a student ID lying in the dust. Wait, this is... Her heart sank as she recognized the face on the blood-stained card. 𝒂𝒏𝒊𝒆, grade 8, class 13. The cold data confirmed a nightmare she wasn't ready to face. Clutching the ID, a horrific realization dawned. Were all the students trapped inside these living shells? She stared at the endless rows of parasitic cocoons. Was there any hope left for those already infected? Before hope could take root, 𝒁𝒐𝒎𝒃𝒊𝒆's cold voice cut through. It's useless, they're gone. Exhaling a cloud of smoke, he delivered the grim truth. Once the eggs are injected, the soul is lost. The weight of his words crushed her. Red Leaf collapsed, tears of absolute despair hitting the floor. There must be a way. Suddenly, a violent tremor shook the tower, nearly throwing them off balance. Sensing a shift in the atmosphere, 𝒁𝒐𝒎𝒃 shot a sharp glance toward 𝒁𝒂𝒏𝒊𝒆. What's happening? Even the ancient spirit seemed puzzled by the sudden, massive vibration. I can't sense the source. He watched in horror as the giant demon began a frantic, suicidal assault. The beast is trying to bring the whole floor down. He realized the foundation was about to collapse. 𝒁𝒐𝒎𝒃 lunged forward to escape the falling debris, only to plummet straight into a dark, yawning abyss. Damn it! Beside him, 𝒁𝒂𝒏𝒊𝒆 let out a wicked, delighted laugh. I love it when you scream. While she mocked him, the others watched his fall in sheer terror. Red Leaf and Roundy rushed to the edge of the pit. 𝒁𝒐𝒎𝒃, can you hear us? I'm alive, stay back, he shouted from the darkness, ordering Roundy to guard the girl. 𝒁𝒂𝒏𝒊𝒆's eyes narrowed as she scanned the deep. A suffocating wave of demonic aura rose from below. They had fallen into the tower's true heart. Talk about a lucky break, he muttered, gritting his teeth. 𝒁𝒂𝒏𝒊𝒆 just smirked at his bravado. With your current pathetic power, you're walking into a trap. 𝒁𝒐𝒎𝒃 went silent, the gravity of the situation sinking in. Was his journey destined to end here? Minutes earlier, in a hidden chamber, a massive, pulsing cocoon loomed over a weeping big bowl. Using us won't work, he cried out. We're just worthless fodder to someone like him. Old Dean trembled beside him, his voice cracking. He begged for mercy from the monsters in human skin. But 𝒂𝒏𝒊𝒆 remained unmoved by their pleas. Then your only value is as a blood sacrifice. The villain finally revealed his true identity. 𝒂𝒏𝒊𝒆, captain of the White Tiger Slayers. Sacrifice? No, please spare me. Big Bowl's screams echoed pointlessly against the cold stone walls. Wait, let's talk. Old Dean tried to bargain, but his fate was already sealed in blood. A blonde subordinate stepped forward with a sadistic grin. Old man, your life ends today. Stop, please. Big Bowl watched in frozen horror as the blade was raised. A flash of steel, followed by a sickening thud. The chamber filled with the stench of fresh slaughter. The ritual drums began to beat a rhythmic, cursed tempo. The summoning of the ancient evil had begun. Vengeful souls, obey my command. Old Dean's life force was forcibly ripped from his very being. A spectral skull manifested, devouring the essence of the fallen. Now emerge from the shadows. 𝒁𝒐𝒎𝒃 finally burst in, clutching a glowing talisman. 8 gates, heaven and earth reversal. Flame Hell God, blazing simian. A colossal beast of fire erupted from the seal. 𝒂𝒏𝒊𝒆 dodged the inferno with casual ease. So you finally showed up, 𝒁𝒐𝒎𝒃. While the captain escaped, his weak underlings were instantly reduced to ash by the hellish flames. Is this all the power you have? 𝒂𝒏𝒊𝒆 mocked him. You've actually grown weaker since we met. Fresh blood dripped from 𝒁𝒐𝒎𝒃's wounds, staining the floor. His body was reaching its absolute limit. Boss, don't give up, Big Bowl yelled, his voice the only hope in the dark. 𝒁𝒐𝒎𝒃 gritted his teeth, his vision beginning to blur. The soul-crushing exhaustion was finally taking its toll. Suji's energy is fading fast. He bio-sneers, savoring the moment. Already on your knees, pathetic. Hand over the girl and I'll grant you a swift death. Nearby, Dawan desperately heals old Tian. Hold on, Uncle Tian, don't you dare die. Clutching a familiar talisman, Su-ji smirks. Even at my worst, I can still handle a piece of trash like you. In an instant, he unleashes the ice-burst talisman directly at 𝒂𝒏𝒈. Do-won, get out of here, now! As they retreat, 𝒂𝒏𝒈's eyes gleam with malice. He has no intention of letting them escape. Trying to run, you haven't asked for my permission yet. He activates the shadow willow art. Thousands of spectral hands erupt from the earth. The ground itself betrays them. Su-ji and Do-won are snagged by the grasping limbs. What? 𝒂𝒏𝒈 struts forward, radiating dark energy. I have attained the power of a god. You're nothing but a worthless bug. Su-ji looks up with pure contempt. You call this cheap trick godhood? Disgusting. The same old filthy habits. 𝒂𝒏𝒈 laughs, his arrogance reaching its peak. He doesn't give a damn about his humanity. So you noticed. Yes, I made a pact with monsters, and what of it? He throws his head back in a manic cackle. In this chaotic era, only the strong rule. Might is the only truth. No one cares about the process. History only remembers the winner. Only the victor has the right to stand tall. Suddenly, his expression twists into a mask of cold fury. Where is Zhao Yuanyuan? Su-ji meets his gaze, unfazed. Silence is his only answer. A lackey points frantically toward the heights. Boss, up there, look. High above, Yuanyuan and Hong Dai stand amidst the chaos. Rewind 30 minutes. The mysterious cocoons were pulsing with dark life. Hong Dai's voice was sharp with warning. Get back, these things are agitated. They're going to hatch early. Just then, the shells cracked. Crazed Kinaras burst forth in a frenzy. The two girls stood frozen, but then an eerie sound filled the air. Something was very wrong. What is that noise? Before them, the monsters didn't attack. They knelt in humble submission. They were worshipping the central cocoon. The silk parted, revealing a terrifying presence. As the husk split wide, a nightmare emerged. The Kinara queen had finally awakened. Sensing the danger, Yuanyuan lunged forward. She had to strike first. Her target was clear. She would sacrifice everything to protect Hong Dai. But the queen was faster. Her eyes flared with malice. Yuanyuan screamed as jagged spikes tore through her. Yuanyuan! Hong Dai rushed to shield her, desperate to help. It was useless. Yuanyuan glared at the queen through the pain. Damn you! What are you doing? The queen's jaw unhinged, vibrating with a sickening hum. A vile, slimy parasite oozed from its throat. Hong Dai's eyes widened in realization. She let out a cold, sharp laugh. So you want to plant your eggs in me? You're the source of this mutation. I've finally found the mastermind. With a fierce kick, she sent the queen reeling. Rot in hell. Seeing the beast try to reposition, Hong Dai's rage boiled over. You think you can escape? The faces of her fallen students flashed before her eyes. Her heart burned with pure hatred. Taste my blood. For the innocent girls of 𝒂𝒏𝒌 Academy, tear this monster into 10,000 pieces. Hong Dai unleashed her secret weapon. The golden silkworm art. Golden light shredded the queen before she could react. The nightmare finally ended. Yuanyuan collapsed onto the ground, safe but shaken. Hong Dai's face was a mask of blood. She didn't care about the pain. The price had been paid. I had to use an immature soul worm, but my students are finally avenged. Her strength vanished in an instant. She crumpled to the ground like a broken doll. Hong Dai, wake up. Yuanyuan caught her, her voice trembling with fear. Suddenly, 𝒂𝒏𝒈's voice roared from the pit. Where is Zhao Yuanyuan? Yuanyuan looked down and saw Su-ji in mortal danger. Master! Trapped below, Su-ji and Do-won were at their limit. A henchman spotted her and shouted. Boss, Zhao Yuanyuan is right there. Habu smirked with lethal arrogance. Fine, saves me a trip. I'll slaughter you before claiming Yuanyuan. Deep within the massive cocoon, a face slowly took form. 𝒁𝒐𝒏𝒌 watched the stubborn villain, puzzled. Just what do you want with Yuanyuan? Habu acted as if nothing mattered, stepping forward to boast. What do I want? I'll. Before he could finish his tale, a colossal hand crushed him instantly, spraying blood everywhere. The blonde lackey trembled in absolute terror at the sight. Lord Boss. Even 𝒁𝒐𝒏𝒌 and Do-won were stunned. The emerging giant beast smiled, chanting cryptic, chilling words. School brawlers deserve death. The lackey scrambled away, screaming, "Help me." Mumbling a nursery rhyme about dismissal, the beast's power pierced straight through the blonde coward. Damn it. Having dealt with 𝒂𝒏𝒌's thugs, the creature turned its icy gaze toward 𝒁𝒐𝒎𝒃𝒊𝒆. Failing students must perish. Hearing this, 𝒁𝒊𝒏𝒈 froze in total fear. We need to run, but 𝒁𝒐𝒎𝒃 remained unnervingly calm. Stay, we can't outrun this thing. 𝒁𝒊𝒏𝒈 panicked. If we don't run, can we win? 𝒁𝒐𝒃 gripped his talisman. No. He quickly summoned fire spirits, preparing to clash with the mountain-sized monstrosity. 8-way divine might, 5 heaven devils begone, the soul spirit-suppressing talisman. As he struggled, 𝒂𝒏𝒌 appeared. 3 masters are approaching, you must stall for time. A flicker of confidence returned to 𝒁𝒐𝒃. Then, let's see what I can do. Furious at the sight of charms, the beast roared, studying spells instead of lessons. Annihilate. A single blow shattered the fire spirits. 𝒁𝒐𝒃's confidence vanished as he turned to flee. 𝒁𝒊𝒏𝒈 was baffled. We're retreating. What was the point of that flashy move, boss? 𝒁𝒃 quickly reasoned. Maybe it just made me look cooler for a second. As the two bickered, while fleeing for their lives, the monster swung its massive arms. Bad kids lower graduation rates? Its shadow loomed over them. Good God, we're trapped. At the final second, a crimson-haired woman appeared, leaving the duo speechless with shock. 𝒁𝒊𝒏𝒈 gaped, unable to believe his eyes. 𝒂𝒏𝒈, is that really 𝒁𝒂𝒏𝒈? It was 𝒁𝒂𝒏𝒈, a captain of the Jin Dong Genius Squad. Lam Lam, get them out. Lam Lam nodded instantly. Understood. Before they could react, bandages coiled tightly around them. Looking at the terrifying height, 𝒁𝒃 screamed. Holy crap! 𝒁𝒊𝒏𝒈 carried the senior, howling. I'm scared of heights. Lam Lam ignored them. Sit tight, both of you. In a flash, Lam Lam descended and landed safely on the ground. Still bound and dangling, 𝒁𝒃 gasped for air. Hey, can you untie me? I can't breathe. She shook her head. These are healing bandages, be patient. Why would the captain help you? 𝒁𝒃's expression shifted as a realization hit him. 𝒂𝒏𝒈 came specifically for me. Lam Lam's tone turned cold and serious. Obviously, do you never research missions? You're incredibly reckless. The core of this school's curse is the soul of the great serpent god, Manhwa. 𝒁𝒃 beamed, ignoring the danger. I'm honored a beautiful captain is worried about me. Reality set in. Wait, Manhwa, this is only a B-rank tower. Why is the boss this terrifying? Lam Lam scoffed at his ignorance. She finally revealed the truth about the mastermind. Manhwa feeds on the 3 poisons: greed, anger, and ignorance. And this girls' school is overflowing with those dark emotions. Fed by the faculty's obsessions, it evolved into an A-rank threat. 𝒁𝒃 finally understood. He looked at the monster in front of him, utterly speechless. This thing is the principal. The monstrous principal lunged at 𝒂𝒏𝒈. Bad grades, disobeying teachers, die. Facing the monster, she did not flinch. A teacher, you are a disgrace to the very profession. Enraged, the beast unleashed a bone-shattering strike. Disrespecting your betters deserves a lesson in pain. Even as the air vibrated with malice, her expression remained cold and completely unwavering. Channeling her inner flow, 𝒁𝒈 unleashed her secret technique, the Tai Kai mountain render. The behemoth collapsed with a thunderous roar, sending shockwaves through the shattered, blood-stained battlefield. Blackflower gasped in sheer awe. That power, she is at least a rank of elite. You have recruited quite the monster, Big Bull muttered, his eyes wide with total disbelief. Suji let out a weary sigh. She is the same as always. Then a thought occurred. Wait a minute, you mentioned there were 3 guardians, so where is the final master hiding?